background. So looks like the Flash movie, this highly anticipated, like this movie once point, it was quite highly anticipated. When the first trailer dropped, I saw a lot of people who were really excited to see this movie. But since then, of course, a lot of stuff happened. But looks like this movie on its second weekend, it dropped to around, this number isn't, I guess, accurate, so it always changes on Monday, but as of now looks like this movie is dropped to 73% on its second weekend, and this drop is huge, and looks like this movie, it is making history. Looks like this movie, it is the second worst drop for second weekend ever. It's just sitting behind the Morbius, which dropped to 73%. So Flash looks like, as of like now, is 72%. Dark Phoenix, when it came out, oh, that movie is also huge flop. But that movie went to a lot of reshoot as well. So the Dark Phoenix was 71%. The Suicide Squad, the James Gunn Suicide Squad, dropped to 71%. The Hellboy was 70%. And Quantumania, 69%. Okay, this is very interesting. This number, all this movie is sitting beside is really, these are some of this controversial movie. I guess at the end of the day, Disney gotta be happy. This movie even dropped bigger than Quantumania, which was a huge flop for Marvel. Then again, I think Quantumania was expected to flop because that movie also got kind of like a mixed review from the audience. So how this movie is so biggest flop, I can't believe it. Once I thought this movie is going to be hit, but looks like audience just didn't want to see this movie. Is that means this movie is bad? No, because end of the day, all this movie name is here. Flash is not bad as like Quantumania or like, Hellboy 2. Like Flash isn't bad at any of this movie on this list, because end of the day, the Flash movie, people who saw this, they are praising this movie. They're saying they liked it, although the CGI got, like, a lot of people didn't like the way CGI looked. Of course, the Ezra Miller controversy really hurt this movie, but end of the day, Flash is a huge character from comic book, and yet this movie dropped such a huge, and movie isn't bad. It's gotta be really bad news for Warner Brothers, because end of the day, it just means that people, like general people, they don't care about DC brand anymore. All this controversy around Warner Brothers and James Gunn, he took over all this reboot news. Like it's a reboot, but it's not a fully reboot. But some people are staying, some people are going. Then the Henry Cavill firing was just awful press for them when they did that. A lot of people really were upset about that news. Of course, all these people who are upset at Warner Brothers, how they're gonna show it to them, but not going to this movie, which isn't that bad at all. Okay. I could see some people saying, oh, they didn't like this movie. If you had a previous mindset that you're not gonna like this movie, there's a possibility you didn't like it. But a lot of people, like majority of the audience, they liked. I'm talking about those people. It looks like the Flash movie, unfortunately, it is a huge flop. Which is, I think it is probably Warner Brothers, they're really disappointed at this number, because I think they were hoping to get some box office return for this, because all the Shazam of the Fury of the God, Black Adam, this end of the day, it is a bad news for overall DC brand. That is what is the news here, unfortunately, because all these movies are flopping. I don't think even James Gunn's movie anybody will go out to see, because this guy, he took over DC with even more controversy. So yeah. So looks like the Flash, it is like, as of now, looks like it is sitting on 87% domestic. International is 123. Worldwide, it is just crossed $210 million, which is like really disappointing number, because at the end of the day, studio, they don't get back the whole this money back. Probably they're gonna get like 40 to 50%, depend on the studio deal, because I know the Disney get 50% back. I'm not sure about Warner, but I think probably they're getting even less. because most of the money is kept by a theater. So this is a huge flop for them. More than anything, is a bad news for overall DC brand. That is what I think personally. Of course, all this Ezra Miller drama and all everything, I feel end of the day really sad. Someone who actually enjoyed this movie, so you know, I do feel sad. I don't feel happy reporting this news, because overall I did enjoy this movie, and that was my thought on this. Let me know in the comment what do you think about this news. Is dropped to 73%. This is huge. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget my other videos on other topics. If you enjoy this, please subscribe. Until I see you next time, please take